there changing my voice. So let's talk about tax rates and the failure of both parties. So in recent polls, we find that about 74% of the voting population believes that the wealthy should pay more taxes. And that includes Republicans, who often, their party often confuses people on this issue. They know that the right wing believes in tax breaks for the rich. Now let's look at this thing here. For a very small percent increase in taxes, maybe 1%, okay, very small, for the wealthy, okay, in the last 10 years, say, let's say, we could have ended homelessness. So we have to consider how much more rich people should pay and how effectively the money should be spent. The people who are conservative elitists, they want tax breaks. And so they've allowed the left to raise taxes at times and then squander the money. So they can argue that, hey, that never works anyway. Because they want you to think like what is called and what is known as a functionalist. Someone who says, hey, it never works out anyway, instead of let's scramble to make it work. The same thing with healthcare. They say, hey, it's going to keep wasting money anyway. No, let's scramble to do a thorough analysis of the healthcare sector, right? Medicaid, Medicare, Medi-Cal, whatever. And let's make sure that it's effective, that it's efficient, that it's logical. They're still not quite doing that, even with the Dougie guys, or whatever it's called, because I have a condition, so when I read it, it says D-O-G-E, right? So I don't know if they're saying doggy, Doug, or whatever. The bottom line is that people need to scramble for a cost-effective tax plan, but they're not doing that because it's a racist society. It's a racist eugenicist society. Let me give you an example. If you lived in ancient Greece, the people there would probably not like you because you're a foreigner. Okay? They would say, hey, you're not from here. And they would look up to the people from there who are maybe priests of some pagan cult, priests of Zeus and Hera and so on and so forth. Say these guys are their quote-unquote heroes. So they have a racist system and they have a hyper-privileged system where the hyper-privileged are seen as the people you should date, the people to be. That's what they're going for at least, what have you. And so it is with America. In ancient Greece, there were poor Greeks there as well. But it still was a racist system to some degree, and it was a hyper-privileged system. America is a racist system and a hyper-privileged system. To agree on this is like agreeing that water is wet. Quite often Republicans and other people, they're not able to do that because they're not very honorable people. When you don't tell the truth about things, you're not honorable. That includes leftists. If you're a black supremacist and you're playing stupid about things, you're not being honorable. But now let's look at this thing here. We see white supremacists make the ridiculous argument that black people do 30% of the crimes, okay? Now that's stupid. Now why? Why is that stupid? Well, first of all, they've confused something immediately. There's a difference between crimes that are reported, where you have a suspect taken into custody and, the system finds them guilty, what have you. And crimes that are not reported, underreported, like domestic violence, like rape, like organized felony harassment that white people and Jewish people and LGBT people, some of them, are leading in. There has been an overwhelming amount of testimonies to the effect of that there are people who are organizing to harass people, okay, and that the government is turning a blind eye. Do all those testimonies mean nothing? And only the system determines what is a crime and who the suspects are and who's guilty of it, what have you? That's one of many reasons they're wrong. Let's look at it in terms of smoking marijuana. Everyone and their mom smokes marijuana, okay, so to speak, historically. That includes white people. So let's say white people are, historically are like about 70%. They've dropped to 62% in recent years or so. Okay, so let's say 1/7 of them smoked weed. That'd be 10% of the population. 10% immediately. Of black people, who were 12% historically, 12, 13%, not all 13% smoke weed, maybe about 8%. So 8% of the 12 or 13% smoke weed historically. And well over 10% of the 70% of people that are white smoked weed historically. That's a crime. So is speeding. So is molesting your children. So is raping children in church and the Boy Scouts and on and on and on. So are all the corporate crimes. Cheating on your taxes. Corporate espionage, corporate sabotage, workplace bullying. White people commit most of the crimes. And they're exercising their satanic privilege when they play stupid about that. Now, this is something that you know right away. Even if the person said, hey, why do they commit 30% of the crimes? Okay, which he said in his video is a parody, but there's many, many white people who say things like that, who are not joking around, and they're actually using it to bring you down. And even in that parody, they know that people are likely to think about that statistic and think, hey, that must be the case, okay, and to confuse them. So they're confusing you about that, which is obstructing justice. So the masses of white people who say black people are committing all the crimes are also obstructing justice. So white people commit the worst crimes, like corporate crimes that cause millions of people to starve to death every year in the world, okay, and they obstruct justice more than everyone else on top of that. Whites, Jews, and LGBT people will say, because they're kind of merged together in white culture as groups. Now write this down. A spirit has been defined as a dominant characteristic. Dominant. Not, hey guys, I don't think that way, but what's dominating the group? What dominates America? Corruption or justice? Corruption. What dominates white America? Is it ending homelessness or not ending homelessness? Is it fixing the criminal justice system or not fixing it? Is it being generous and fair or being greedy? Is it playing stupid about things or not playing stupid about things? Is it racism or not racism? The people who aren't racist are like, hey guys, I'm not racist. Or sad. People are racist like, white America! And they're telling people what to do. Hell, the government is like all red right now. It's all red and the people are leftists, like good cop, bad cop psychology. Like, brother, we're just helping them do it. I'm just watching my ass like a bitch. Okay, what the fuck? What do you think's going on? So the dominant characteristic of white America is something that if I say flat out, this video will probably be banned. Why? Because rich Jews, and rich LGBT people, and token minorities, and they're called token for a reason, got together and said censor him and violate his constitutional right, which is free speech. So not only do white people commit most of the crimes, but they commit the worst crimes, including violating your constitutional rights. Do you see how in this video I cleared up misconceptions? Watch, it's going to be suppressed. Why is it going to be suppressed? Is it because black people and anyone who feels my way, regardless of race, is doing it? Maybe it's blacks and Native Americans and Hispanics are going to say, don't let that be known. Or is it going to be a bunch of white, Jewish, and LGBT supremacists, right? White supremacists, Jewish supremacists, and LGBT supremacists who are fuming right now, causing me to stumble on my words, who are ordering that at least, who are saying suppress this guy's free speech. We don't care if he's a top martial artist, the son of a humanitarian. We don't care if with a universal interpretation of the Bible, he's the ideal man, Christ come back, what have you. Suppress him. And then blame his race for committing most of the fucking crimes. Because we're on some bitch-ass inferiority complex bitch shit. Like what the fuck don't people get, right?